Costa Rica will feel as though they have got something to prove to themselves as much as anyone else. Other fancy nations have had more recent experience of success. Reece James has been penalised for challenge on Yosemar Alcacer. Not necessarily the initial dart from Gordon went unutilised until now. O'Reilly, Bellingham, trying to find an angle to shoot from, and it's only a deflection that took the effort wide. First threat from England, very nearly producing an early goal. Slows down Bellingham. Anthony Gordon, Nico O'Reilly, Reece James, Declan Rice, Noni Madueke. Kept the ball in play and found Bellingham, who's found Elliot Anderson, who's looking for Harry Kane, who thinks he was fouled. For Anthony Gordon, burst of speed from him, and Rice has found a way through. Early goal threatened, early England goal delivered. Declan Rice giving Thomas Tuchel's team just a sort of start to the contest. And it was all about this burst from Anthony Gordon, away from Johnson. And Declan Rice was the player he spotted in the ideal position to benefit from his industry. Didn't need to be the cleanest hit of Declan Rice's career. Little bit of a deflection, taking the ball beyond the reach of Patrick Sequeira. One of the recent arrivals to link up with the England squad. First choice 11, only time will tell. Nico O'Reilly for Gordon. And it's off Sequeira and behind. Anthony Gordon has already created one goal and came close to finding, potentially with some help from the goalkeeper. No one to pull it back to this time. Instead, a bit of frustration from an England point of view that having to delay the set piece. Aaron Salazar is the player charged with dealing with Harry Kane. Rice has gone deep in the corner. Kane is there. And Concert had an opportunity to apply the finishing touch. And now Kane has been penalised for fouling Jalen Mitchell. Big booming corner, wasn't it? Kane peeled into space. And with Declan Rice in the team, England will consider set pieces to be a very useful weapon to them at the World Cup. In from Rice to the zone that Kane was occupying. Sequeira does really well above the England number 9. Riley. Gordon was on the move and he was too quick. Yellow card, Sean Johnson, who's so far found the step up to football. A little bit trickier than he might have hoped. He's up against a rapid and determined opponent. And from Rice, flicked on by Kane! Fingertips from Sequeira to keep it at 1-0. Just a glance was all it needed from Harry Kane, and he thought that was destined for just inside the post. It may well have been, but for the outstretched glove of Patrick Sequeira. James. Held up nicely for Madueke. Anderson for Reece James. Returns the pass. Elliot Anderson. Noni Madueke. Sequeira reacts well. It was bouncing and moving in front of him. England threaten again. But for the Costa Rica goalkeeper, would be further ahead. Stones. O'Reilly. Rice. Helping it on brilliantly for Gordon, who was fouled just outside the penalty area by Jalen Mitchell. There's a delightful touch in here from Declan Rice. Great vision. Declan Rice for England. It was a shot rather than a cross. And it wasn't particularly close to adding to his earlier goal. Earlier when he had the ball at his feet, certainly Alcacer recognised that it was an opportunity to put some pressure on the England goalkeeper. But Bellingham has threaded it beautifully for Madueke, who is in! And has somehow failed to make it 2-0. It's a horrible miss at the end of a really ruthless attack that should have seen England extend their lead. Done the hard bit, outmanoeuvred Sequeira. The goal was vacant, but Madueke could find only the foot of the post. There's definitely a foul by Manfred Ugalde, who was really lively and instinctive against Colombia last week. Whenever he got on the ball, he was a menace, but it's been a frustrating game for him so far because he has very, very rarely been on the ball. It's a caution for someone on the Costa Rica bench. Stones. O'Reilly. Gordon assumed there was somebody in white immediately behind him. Who just raised there. Carlos Mora, yellow card. Don't think there was any intent to hurt Elliot Anderson, but way of dealing with him. Kane in towards Gordon, who very nearly escaped the shackles, and then he was fouled and England have a penalty. Well, no sooner had Costa Rica seems to have come to terms with the threat of Anthony Gordon than he comes alive again. Wonderful vision initially from Harry Kane to spot Gordon, who then got to the loose ball ahead of Sean Johnson, who in his determination to stay close to his opponent, a chance to take responsibility, because Katia Koroleva has been offered an opportunity to have another look at this. The referee's immediate verdict was that this was a foul from behind by Sean Johnson. And the referee has waved away the England penalty. A reprieve for Sean Johnson and Costa Rica. It's going to be an alteration. And it is seemingly, yes, the reversal of the change prior to the game. Hachel Quiroz is coming on for Sean Johnson, who had a tough time on his debut right back against a determined and lively Anthony Gordon, that they can make a further impression on the match. Harry Kane spreading the play out to Noni Madueke. Expert stuff. Madueke! Having missed a sitter in the first half, he very nearly produced something spectacular in the second. Great vision from Harry Kane to find Madueke, and once he was cutting in onto the left foot, curling the shot inside the post always seemed possible. Just did. Anderson for Gordon. He wants to get on the ball, taking on Kirosh. Sakira wasn't sure who else was arriving. Madueke will have to settle for a throw. Where his players play their football, it's all about finding a cohesion as a team unit now during a elongated World Cup. So stepping forward has been fouled, and Salazar is about to discover that he's going to get a yellow card for that challenge. Very little attempt by Salazar to play the ball. Well, an injury for one player presents an opportunity for another. Patrick Sakira heads to the sidelines, and 22-year-old Abraham Madrid, who was called up for the first time in March, is about to get an international debut. England too will begin to make alterations. Madueke off to be replaced by Arsenal teammate Abera Eza. As James is coming off as well. Jed Spence coming on. Bukayo Saka, another of the Arsenal quartet that arrived in Florida on Saturday, is coming on. And when you've got a world-class number 9 at your disposal, a player who is likely to contribute as much as anyone else to a deep run in the World Cup, then no chance is being taken with Harry Kane. John Stones is withdrawn to be replaced by Mark Gay. Still looking to be a nuisance. Gordon for Aberchieza. Anderson. Eza. O'Reilly. Bellingham. Fleet of foot. Aberchieza. Well, it deserved a goal, didn't it, for the skill and endeavour. How about this? Dancing through the defence. There's a taking aim. Now, did that strike the elbow? Wide off a Costa Rica player. Poke of the elbow from Daryl. They thought they had a penalty late on in the first half that was overturned with the input of VAR. This time the check is very quickly completed, and it will be an England spot kick. An opportunity for Anthony Gordon, who has contributed as much as anybody so far in England colours today, to make it 2-0. Anthony Gordon for England, dispatched quite brilliantly. A wonderful penalty to extend England's advantage. That's how you take them. And the first job for the substitute goalkeeper is to retrieve the ball, having been beaten. Off the elbow of Daryl Araya. And the resulting spot kick could not have been placed any better. Brilliant from Anthony Gordon. His third England goal. And the scoreline now is a much fairer reflection of just how dominant England have been. They're now 2-0 up. Further alterations can be made. Kobbie Mainoo is on. Watkins. It's going to be an England free kick conceded by Araya with his challenge on Saka. The yellow card is out again, and it's all got a little bit disjointed, and it's Christopher Nunez, the latest to be cautioned. Eza, oh, that's brilliant. What a pass. Steered wide at the target. Morgan Rogers. Certain to become 3-0. And it's the second time in the game that an England player has passed up what looks to be a straightforward opportunity to score. Madueke in the first half. Eza with the free kick. Byrne was trying to strong-arm himself into the more favourable position. Well, Costa Rica haven't got anything like as many players to call upon as England have, but they're going to make further changes now. John Ruiz is coming on, as is Orlando Sinclair, who did so last week against Colombia. And Dorian Rodriguez is going to make his international debut. He has been added to the Costa Rica squad since last week's game in Bogota. Good work this. Rogers in behind and away by Mitchell. Rashford with a chance to show what he can do. Gets it back from Rogers. Rashford very nearly all the way through, still going. John Ruiz blocked the effort and then made sure the ball got cleared. Good urgency though from England. Rogers taking aim, and there's the third goal. Madrid initially with the save, but Ollie Watkins following up. And England get another chance to celebrate. That's what they came to see. And England are bouncing very nicely into the World Cup. Just kept the pressure on. Recognised that they were the more alert of the two teams. Rogers taking aim. Madrid down to make the save. But Ollie Watkins is a master of finding himself in exactly the right place at the right time. 7th England goal for Ollie Watkins. And England are shooting. Spence. Away from Rodriguez. Watkins. Chance for another here. Saka! Well, that would have been a very nice finale to the occasion if the man now wearing the captain's armband had squeezed that inside the far post. Saka for Rashford, for Saka, for Eza. Gallo away before the goalkeeper needed to get involved. Could have been even better for England. Eza looking to serenade their team towards the World Cup. Rashford for Watkins. It was a chance. Fade on with the challenge. Madrid off his line to Bukayo Saka. Kobe Mainu. Rodgers have stayed right at it, England, to the very end. Well, England are in it to win it. A dominant display against Costa Rica, a 3-0 victory. It could have been even better than that. Declan Rice's goal was the difference at half-time. Despite a glut of alterations from the hour mark on, England remained constantly a threat. Gordon from the penalty spot and Watkins pouncing on a rebound. The second half goals added after Rodgers had fluffed a glorious chance.
Pressure up in one sense for a friendly international. With the quality on the field, we hope for entertainment. 1 week from now, exactly, in World Cup Group K, Portugal will be playing their opening match in Houston, Texas. Used to be a Manchester City youngster, where Ruben Diaz, of course, now plays so well. Ronaldo gets it back. He's had a go within 90 seconds. Through. It's a youth teamer with Vitinha there after a while. That's a nice pass. There's no flag on Ronaldo. Quickly out. Okoye. Now it goes. How tight was it? Not all that tight, actually. Bashiru is over the first corner of the game here. He does indeed go short to Simon. Back to Deli Bashiru. Bassi, you wouldn't expect to be behind Alex Iwobi. His next will be his 100th. Running at Ruben Diaz. Right idea to try and pick out Iwobi. Just well defended. There goes the already busy Semenyo in towards Ronaldo. Well, that wasn't supposed to happen. Especially him expecting international goal number 144, and he was on. But it is not in. And it should have been. Another winner's medal in the bag recently. Nasser. Chance here at the other end, and that's also pulled wide of the near post. Neither keeper worked. Inacio got sucked in there. Poor Adams. Reputation is growing. There's well the chance to grow it a little. It set a new record for assists in the Premier League. Here's another Premier League that is teammate Diogo Dalot does well to hook that in there. That's very calmly done by MH. See the high press from the Portuguese here. Bassi's been good enough to get round. Now Iwobi, here goes Simon. Back to Iwobi, another Fulham player. Didi. That was ambitious, especially for somebody who's scored once. Vitinha straight onto it. Beautiful footwork, good use of the body. There's the free kick. The player he is. He's been for some while now. generation and all that. Portugal were once famous for their own, but I tell you what, this is not a bad move, is it? And the yellow card is out for the foul on João Neves. Too sharp, way too sharp. Left back in the book, as you'd always expect. Out. Flying past Iwobi. Looking for the space. Dalot, just a little touch, but Dalot still interested here, and he's not the only one. Pedro Neto, one touch. Barely been involved, but that'll feel good. 4 months without a goal for club and country. Pedro Neto puts the Portuguese in front through the first half in Ledia. He's onside, Dalot. Messi played him on. A perfect set for the shot on his favoured left, right into the corner. Lovely ball in the first touch from Dalot was good too. The cutback was meant for Ronaldo. Now the flag goes up. That must have been tighter than the earlier one. La Liga last season for Sevilla, Paul Adams. 5 in just 14 caps for the Super Eagles. That is a good introduction. Another forward run from Semedo. Well, he's got to be very careful. Yamaechi there. Very careful, having been booked already. Shouldn't go in this half. Chipped into a big crowd and smashed by Bruno Fernandes. More delicate, but equally important Tara Koye to keep it out. Cracking hit. Nearly. We've seen that leap a few times. Just didn't loop for Neto. There was Ndidi again. Immaculate, very necessary challenge. Away from another challenge. Sorry, over the bar. He says it got a touch. Adams again, strong and keen, and here he is. Can he find the target? Yes, he can. 1-1. New on the scene, but quite the hot shot for the Super Eagles. Akor Adams. Months, he's got his 6th international goal already, and it's his strength and perseverance that has made this one possible. Less than a minute after that big chance at the other end, it should have been a Portugal corner. 1-1 in Ledia. Neves. Now again. One presumes that was meant to be a cross. Might even. Neto bumped off it. Bashiru at the top. Too much on it for Ronaldo. It's been a nearly half for the captain, isn't it? I wonder, given the upcoming, we'll see him get another chance in this game. He only played the first half last time out in the win against Chile. Couldn't do anything with that. Nicely worked by most of the front line. Ronaldo spreads it. Carroll curls it. Way too close to the keeper. Seven changes, it looks like, for Portugal here at half-time. João Felix, João Cancelo, Renato Veiga, Sissao, Thomas Araújo, Ruben Neves and Nuno Mendes all coming on. Right back, Semedo, Nuno Mendes at left back, Diogo Dalot. What a hit that is for the first time tonight. Diko Okoye is far for a corner. João Felix bang on target with his first touch. These days at Al Nassr. Cancelo takes the corner. Handed out by Ndidi, that's worth a hit. What a hit! Even better than the last one. João Felix asking the question, did it go over the line? Quivering crossbar. Wow, that was close. What a hit. And lots of the ball was over the line. Looks like it's all over the line, but... Ronaldo. Oh dear. This really isn't his night. Slightly behind him. Bassi has pitched it from Ronaldo. Nicely done. Great feet from the big defender. Trying to find the gaps, Portugal. They're moving it very nicely. Conceição. Cancelo, it's deep. Felix, his third effort in 9 minutes since coming on. Scored a couple of times when they opened up World Cup qualifications. 67th cap tonight. We wondered if they might make some of these changes at the break. It did look like Abdelai Bawene was going to come on. Well, he is now. Sanusi. Well, a decent debut, I think, there for Christian Akpan. Bawene coming on for just his second cap. There's Onyeka for his 45th. Simon, well, his next cap will be number 100. Probably against Madagascar in September. Terem Moffi be fairly well known to some of these players because he spent a bit not playing all that much, some time on loan at Porto last term from Nice. Ajayi going off at the back. Behind Moffi. Ronaldo. Gonzalo Ramos is coming soon, maybe even now. Well, no goal for the superstar of all superstars. Maybe he's saving it for DR Congo next week. And that completes a full outfield 10 changes from the bench. Messi. That was confident. He had to get it right, he did. So Felix has now just booted the ball away, and we know what that brings. Don't think it was for the foul. One day they'll stop. That's a well-timed defending from Samuel Costa. A lot of movement off the ball from João Felix. Now Cancelo. Conceição again. Acceleration. Brilliantly. Portugal have their lead back. Let's see if they can keep hold of it this time. That is a beauty. Made some good stops tonight, Maduka Okoye. He had no hope with that, even without the traffic in front of him. Once again, Nigeria must come from behind. Chunking into the challenge there. Nyamaichi, who has not held off at all since being booked, which is either brave or foolish. And they are making that point right now. Deep delivery. It's going to be met. These young starlets are. Nadi making way here. We're going to see Onuachu in a minute, and play you can't miss. There he is, Paul Onuachu. So it's Nunes also coming on. Another good night at the office for Adams. So Mendes played half an hour or so. The later ones to join the group. Beautiful first touch from João Felix. No foul is the call. Fans are complaining, he's not, in fairness. Difficult. The touch on the ball was from Felix. He's on the ball again. He's going to get it this time. The whistle he wanted the last time. Chips one in. Really work for João Cancelo. Bernardo Silva. Deep. Costa did brilliantly to get something on that. Most were expecting a header before it got to him. Makes the save quite a sharp one as well. through the crowd. They're still in it. 4 weeks to play. Koye out. Which is such a giant. Even if he doesn't win it first time around, he can second time around. But the more diminutive Portugueses have played it round him. The risk from Bwene, he's got away with it. Now Chukwueze. Passes on to Moffey. Would have had to have played it blind, and now trying to dribble his way through. João Cancelo's done his job. Araujo's down. Here's why. That's in the scene, and indeed it is Siwobi. Not out. Alex Iwobi. Tele. Thing is, it's Cristiano Ronaldo. That's the call Martinez has to make, and that is not an easy one. Onuachu called back for that challenge. So it's getting involved and. Sanusi got the ball, but he's also going to get a card because he got Conceição fractionally before. Ruben Neves trying to get on with it, but that will come back. Well, in international football, I guess that counts as a high foot. Conceição looks set to be the match winner here. The check of the watch. We've had our 4 minutes. Bernardo Silva will wisely keep it. And Portugal will head west with yet another victory. Much will be expected of Roberto Martinez and his team in the Americas. A week from now they kick off in Houston against DR Congo, and it's Uzbekistan in the same venue, and Colombia in Miami for Eric Shell and Nigeria. It's a summer off before the AFCON qualifiers start again. They've played pretty well here tonight, in fairness, and got level and were level for quite a while. Neto's goal cancelled out by Adams, but a beauty from Francisco Conceição sends the Seleção off west with victory.
Ameni, uma dupla de meio campo e também um quarteto ofensivo com Dembélé, que ganhou o The Best na última temporada. This from my way, people. Yes.
France. Sound. For 30. Second game. Casey. Looking. Fully. Shotgun. And he Jewel.
And this ball in the sky. Closer.
Lovely. Team. Something. NBA side. Jill. Contra. School Gala. Look. Ready. Shaquille. Space form.
E uma alteração do lado esquerdo da defesa. Para quê? É estratégico ou é gestão de um calendário apertado? Ou, como dizia há pouco Fernando Santos, as duas coisas?
Sim, eu creio que será um bocado das duas coisas. No caso das entradas do William e do Pep são mesmo forçadas, e aqui houve a tentativa de Fernando Santos colocar os jogadores o mais aproximados possível das características daqueles com os quais não podia contar. A questão do lateral esquerdo, eu creio que será sempre assim, e aliás já tem sido sempre assim. O Rafael Guerreiro dificilmente faz todos os jogos.
Nuno Mendes, vai ser o cruzamento, bola na área, passo para Cancelo, tenta tirar o adversário da frente.
Apesar dos minutos, que a concentração por priorizar a segurança na posse.
Tenta encontrar opções, a bola para a área, sobra ainda para... Passo chega a Bruno Fernandes, atenção ao corte de Jiménez, depois Fede Valverde também ganha posse de bola a equipa do... Atenção ao passe para a zona de Félix, Manuel e Carlos Daniel, a não perder na RTP, traca aliás o Uruguai novamente ao ataque, lance perigoso, Pep para Bruno Fernandes, pode fazer a aproximação, aí vai o remate a um lado e sem perigo para a baliza de Rochette, grande passe de Nuno Mendes, a variar o flanco.
Aparentemente vai ser hoje, vamos a ver se Portugal consegue marcar e só o conseguirá bem se o...
Ronaldo. Avança Ronaldo, tenta o remate, a bola fica no corpo de Bruno Fernandes, que sobe com ataque com perigoso, e há um primeiro a subida de Rafael Guerreiro, cruzamento, a bola ia para a zona onde estava Ronaldo, foi talvez demasiado puxada, não estaria à espera o capitão. Ação de Guerreiro, agora William, sofre falta White.
Mais 3 para jogar nesta primeira parte.
João Félix, finding Gonçalo Ramos! Oh! It's his first international start! And he has blasted Portugal into the lead. Fabulous strike by a 21-year-old who can't have expected to have been in the starting 11 when he woke up this morning, but has just taken a massive step into dreamland.
What a hit that is. What a hit, what a start for the young man. It really is. There's an argument, you know, that there's only 21-year-olds would attempt this. I mean, he's going the wrong side of the goal. You get coached to hit the flat side, the big side of the goal. Dear me, the power.
Estar tudo ligado, obviamente não foi aquele falhando a guardar a bola.
O Neves, passe perigoso, Bruno Fernandes, a bola para as mãos de Rochette.
A combinação que não funcionou há instantes.
Vai ali a pressão, mas atenção que passa Bentancur, excelente. Pressionado, cai e sofre falta. Deixa ser levantada a área para a área de Portugal. Pode aparecer o cabeceamento. Acaba de entrar em jogo. Toca Félix. vai tocar com o peito. Atenção que pode sobrar para o remate. É o primeiro ao lado de William Carvalho. Excelente, Ronaldo.
Grande passe Cristiano Ronaldo, depois o pontapé do William, de primeira é que não sai.
Agora em sentido contrário, vai sair o cruzamento, corta a defesa para Bruno Fernandes, pode armar o remate. Passão de bola para cá, está o canto.
Fugiu demais. Os laterais são alas autênticas.
It is Cristiano Ronaldo, still box office. He ranks his own headlines, makes his own history, and he is the first man ever to score at 5 World Cups.
What a line that is. Incredible. 5 World Cups. And you know something, a little bit like Gareth Bale the other night, John, there was just something inevitable about the end result. Doesn't take any chances in the respect that he puts plenty on it. Beautifully struck penalty.
As tentativas de desarme dos jogadores portugueses estão a chegar sempre uma frase.
Para a área, parece um corte da Godin. Ronaldo a tocar, ainda Ronaldo na área. Pode deixar, ou tentava deixar para Fel. Tentava ali um passe. Sai o canto, bola na área, corte de tentar. Bate o livre a bola, toca na barreira. Vai ser mais um canto para Portugal. E agora ali, Guatas vai ganhar de cabeça, a ideia era colocar em...
Tem que ao espaço, e agora o passo foi longo demais. Mas...
Aqui espaço havia, mas havia também velocidade. A conduzir o ataque, bola na área e depois... Era bom passe para Gonçalo Ramos, bem Gonçalo Ramos a segurar. Bola com Ronaldo a tocar, depois o passe... Ali a pressão de dois jogadores, grande passe para Ronaldo! Portugal está em vantagem!
São mais de 1001 noites a brilhar pela seleção portuguesa nas Arábias ou em qualquer parte do mundo. Desvio subtil de cabeça de Cristiano Ronaldo, segundo gol do capitão neste Mundial ao sol de inverno.
Olha, eu estava a pensar quando o Bruno Fernandes pega na bola que é uma pena ele não aparecer mais do lado esquerdo, porque é do lado esquerdo que o seu pé direito pode ser mais letal. Aqui está como ele, e atenção, não há fora de jogo porque está lá a colocá-lo em posição regular, salvo erro o Varela que...
Ronaldo, avança Bernardo, avança também Bruno, ainda Rafael Leão, cai Ronaldo, sem 85 minutos. Fazer pressão, mas Darwin vai com tudo, vai fazer o remate.
FIFA atribui esta ao Bruno.
Ronaldo, também João Félix, a bola vai para aquela zona, atenção a Félix ainda a segurar. Depois William estava de costas para a bola, era difícil lá chegar.
Foram os dois à mesma bola, o Félix e o William. O William ali devia ter esperado. Mas ia dizer... O
Uruguai novamente a tentar a aproximação à baliza de Portugal.
A meia distância do Uruguai é perigosa.
Bernardo Silva.
Guerrero finding Leão. Ridiculous. He comes to the party. It's been a wonderful team performance, but they've got gifted players on the bench too. This is a Portugal team to be reckoned with. Rafael Leão makes it six of the best.
It's just tremendous. I don't know, the goalkeeper looked wrong-footed. There's a resignation about him. I saw him when he hits it, his head goes to the right-hand side. But I told you, he can play, this lad. I was a little bit surprised we didn't see him till a lot later on, but boys, he made his mark. Scored there.
Ui, atenção, agora ao perigo, a bola em... Atenção a Portugal, novamente Leão. Segura Leão, remata Leão, remata ao lado, sem grande perigo para... Vai, aproxima-se da baliza de Portugal, remata de Maxi. Ronaldo, bom toque para Cancelo, mas... Perigoso a aparecer espaço e agora vai tirar...
Um jogo.
Ação a Bentancur, Darwin Núñez. Ainda Cristiano Ronaldo. Sofre ali falta, parece-me.
Silva, Felix on, Gonçalo Ramos! The first hat-trick of these World Cup finals has been scored by a young man who could hardly have expected to have played in this World Cup. Gonçalo it's not going to wipe the smile off that face.
So do I. So do I. I think they got a little bit of a break, dare I say it, with Bernardo Silva's touch.
Alguém para cobrir a zona frontal da área.
Atenção agora ao lance. Estava ali o passe para a zona de Guerreiro.
Para Portugal poder meter ataque rápido e contra-ataque neste jogo.
Raro Silva, mas Rafael Soares, como é óbvio. Silva, João Félix, atenção Portugal, lance perigoso! A bola ao lado! A bola ao lado! Muito perigo para a baliza de Rochette.
Olha, é uma pena que o Bruno Fernandes chegou a pedir a bola.
Hoje estava em tão boa posição.
Curtos, porque de facto mandar a bola lá para cima.
Com o Bruno Fernandes. Vai tocar, golo! É de Portugal! 2-0! Bruno tapa os ouvidos, mesmo assim houve este clamor no estádio Lusail, a festa, e a festa é portuguesa. 2-0, Portugal está na frente.
Irrepreensível a forma como o Bruno Fernandes bateu a grande penalidade, com o saltinho do costume. É muito complicado para qualquer guarda-redes controlar o tempo de saída quando o adversário dá aquele saltinho. Não há paradinha, reparem, ele nunca para o movimento, simplesmente prolonga um bocadinho o último movimento, a última.
To the biggest team on the planet. Full and Gaddafi likes football.
Alright, Kansas City Stadium. We are moments away. It's closer and closer to the
Frightening, and something that Morocco are going to have to deal with. Bono, very experienced goalkeeper for these players.
Let's take a look at the lineups.
And for a very experienced coach in Carlo Ancelotti, this is his first
in North America between Brazil and Morocco is underway. They recently changed their coach. They lost 2 starters to injury just this week, and a huge flying tackle inside of about 60 seconds. And maybe that's the point with a fan base that expects excellence and artistry. Not altogether different from Brazil. That's why they chased him for 3 years before they got him to become head coach. Roger Ibanez, one of the players, drafted him because of injury, commits the foul. Here comes him 3 games before this one to try to figure that out. Great move, Mazraoui on the outside. Into the middle, it comes, first chance of the game, and it was blocked and cleared away. Bruno Guimaraes there, got his body in front of it. Moves it along. Brahim Diaz, that pinballs around. Hakimi trying to get there. Big collision with Gabriel. And the whistle goes for a foul and a free kick for Brazil.
Well, it's a strong challenge in the box.
Into the middle. 4 Brazilian shirts able to close down on Nahi there, and then a foul committed. Looking to run. It's knocked down off the back there of Marquinhos. Kind of hack to the clearance, does just enough, and Brazil get a free kick.
But there's a lot of finger pointing going around right now on the Brazilian side defensively.
Touch in front of Hakimi to control Vinicius Jr. maybe for the first time all game. Now on the ball, running it out, Achraf Hakimi, getting to the byline, into the middle, Igor Thiago skipped off the front of his forehead.
Well, it felt like that.
Nahi, nice ball in. Hakimi, tight angle across the face of goal.
And when he picks this ball up in a nice spot, he gets turned, has a look. There's nobody in the box. No options for him to try to square this one across.
Thiago with the pressure and the foul. Whipped in by Casemiro. Rafinha off the chest. Igor Thiago beaten to it by Bono. Able to win that ball away. Into the middle for Rafinha. Trying to slip it through, but he Jr. couldn't turn cleanly. Achraf Hakimi breaking that play up at the last moment out for a corner.
The intensity of the game these days, that's a very underrated part of the game.
Hakimi was running open on the far side. Instead it comes through Siberi!
And it just comes right through this.
Hakimi now. Brazil backing off. Hakimi, options. Hakimi pulls it wide.
Lightning quick.
Bach and media, yes, we're winning, but we're not winning well. We want to win in a more artistic way. We want to evolve the style of play. That's certainly what they have done. Hakimi drives it to the near post instead. It's flicked along. It's going to be sent out by Gabriel. Anytime they give this ball away, Unahi drives it in, no one in red. But again, they can't clear. Hakimi couldn't figure out the bounce just right. A punch for Brazil. Guimaraes looking to return. Look at all the space that Vinicius finds, and he picks it up, and he Jr. scores! That's what that man can do! That's what this team can do! And Brazil tie the game! And then Hakimi is caught by Vinicius. Another free kick from Morocco, and Achraf Hakimi is the mirror to head away. Diaz looking to hook that back in. Alisson gets there with a strong punch, and Hakimi up. 29 years old, but just made the switch to play for Morocco, and that's going to be a foul. It's going to be our game's first yellow card. As Morocco were all of a sudden flying forward in transition. It's Casemiro that takes it.
Yeah, you wouldn't have gotten very good odds.
60 miles per hour for those of you who don't have the metric to standard right at hand. He kicked it hard.
Won it, but there's more of a commitment and a togetherness as that ball should run to Bono.
And it will off a kind spin and a bounce. For Rafinha. Wadi trying to get out. He's under pressure. He gives it away, although it falls kindly to Brahim Diaz. And Roger Ibanez is not going to allow to happen there what happened on the opening goal, which was Diaz running through the center.
This should be a yellow. This should be a yellow.
Will be.
Yeah. Because it's...
Rafinha under some pressure. That one is going to be a foul. El Khanous there.
Way back into this game, getting numbers forward, the switch to more of 4-3-3, getting Guimaraes higher, as well as Paquetá, who's there now.
Well, the Santos on the overhead, it's saved by Bono. That was Lucas Paquetá, and now he's urging the fans to make noise. Bono, his first save out for a corner.
Yeah, he drifts late run, something he does really well.
1 more minute still to go in this half. Hakimi goes to ground, wins the ball, wins the referee's approval, stops the Brazilian attack. And then he's fouled, is how the half will end. Great atmosphere. Morocco led for a while. Brazil go in with momentum. Our LA studio on the other side of the break. 45 minutes. Saturday evening in officially at this tournament, the New York, New Jersey Stadium. Second half is up. In the last year being talked to. Rafinha into the near post. That was Marquinhos getting the first touch. Who would come off last? Officials, Junior running a decent jump, trying to get some support behind him as well. 3 Moroccan defenders around Vinny. He still gets a cross away. Only man there was Nusayr Mazraoui. In the United States in 1994 and win. That one's taken quickly. Igor Thiago, saved by Bono. It's there in front of Vinicius. And he's trying to run his way out of traffic. Takes the bump. That's going to be a free kick for Morocco. To the box. Lucas Paquetá made that defensive play, then he's dumped off the ball. That's going to be a foul.
And Paquetá
breaks on any of these dead balls. Igor Thiago there. A bit late. A hard challenge, just a foul.
And interesting on the build-out from Morocco. El-Anai.
Danilo for Rafinha. And then he goes down with a shout under the pressure from Mazraoui, and it's a Brazil free kick. Youth national team that won the U20 World Cup in the fall. It's an awkward collision there. It's going to be a free kick for Brazil. And that foul count continues on the right where Brahim Diaz was. Luis Enrique once again rolls that one in, cut into the middle, just too far for Rafinha. That was Bruno Guimaraes there with the cross.
Yeah, they've really got the pressure on now because Danilo gets in the attacking part of the field.
Mazraoui going to roll that one through. Sabari gets there. Sabari tight angle, late recovery blocked by Marquinhos, and the flag does come up for offside. It'll be a free kick for Brazil. Amourabet. Mazraoui is going to whip this in on the deck. It was dealt with easily enough by Fabinho.
But that was the type of dynamic play we saw. But then when they feel like the chance is there, they have that quickness to go like that.
He's going to get there. Job didn't know that or didn't care. It's going to be rolled back in. It's right at Bono. That was Rafinha there. Bono's third save. It looked like it was going to be nothing, and Jupp just kind of gave up on it.
The ball held up, and Vinny Jr. has the speed. Bono was a little shaken up after that save, and he cuts it.
There's Cunha. Got inside the defender. They got to be careful, and it's going to be out behind for a corner. This indeed.
This is interesting.
Jump, the only man there. And then he underhits the pass. Bono's there just in front of Rafinha. And then Bono is holding his shoulder, and he goes down. The shoulder. Mamouni now. Cutting it back inside. Hooks a dangerous looking cross in. Marquinhos was there to head it out. And good pressure there. And then Tommy loses out. Now can Brazil go in transition? Mateus Cunha. And he's just going to be fouled there in the transition.